Hey everybody, welcome back to the Project Podcast. I'm Rowan,
And I'm Daniel.
and this is now episode 3. And in this episode, we'll be breaking down our top 3 Generation 3 pyrokinetics within FireForce.
All right, Rowan, you want to start us off?
I will actually start us off. So, my first one I'd like to start with is one of my personal favorite characters from the entire show. Is Benimaru Shinman, and he is obviously overall really cool. I like his whole stature and everything in his eyes, but his abilities are kind of insane. Um, he's known as Asakusa's King of Destruction because of the devastating power that he's capable of, withholding and unleashing on things. Um, he predominantly uses what is that? A Matois, I believe. I don't know how to say that, but it was a flag used in the Edo period of firemen to indicate where fires were.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So he kind of
All right.
fights. It's like a bow staff for him, and he kind of like he just uses fire for it. It's like kind of like telekinesis in general, if
Yeah, well,
anything.
that's what pyrokinesis is. It's the control of fire.
Right, but like he barely uses any fire; just uses the heat rather than actual fire. Um,
Right, so my first character that I find the most interesting is Joker.
right.
Um, so he is a self-proclaimed anti-hero, and he was an orphan, and so he was raised by the Holy Soul's Shadow, which is an assassination group under the Holy Soul Temple, and eventually he escaped, and then he had an Adola link,
Really?
which that's why he covers his eye because it
Yeah, I was
burned his eye
wondering that.
away.
Watching the show, I've always seen him. Like I was watching season 3 the other day, and he always has his eye covered by his hat, but it's not like covered by an eye patch. I don't believe, like Burns.
That's his hair.
That's his hair.
Yeah,
Oh man. Okay.
and he takes. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I did not
Um,
know that.
so yeah,
Yeah,
he lost his left eye to that, and ever since he saw the
Adola.
world of Adola, he wanted to find out the truth by any means necessary.
So he's like Burns in a way.
He's also the self-appointed uh guardian of the fourth pillar.
Really? Which
Yeah,
which one's the fourth pillar? Isn't that Sheena? Sheena's the fourth, right? Or is he
yeah,
the fifth?
he's the fourth.
He's the fourth. Okay, that's what I thought. So
The
that's
fifth
why that's why
pillar.
they get
The
along
fifth
so
pillar
well.
is the fifth pillar is the little kid with the orange hair.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I actually I didn't go over the specifics of Benny Mother yet. I've got
Oh,
one, two, three, four, five abilities, but I think I'm only gonna go over the like three biggest ones. Uh, I'm gonna start with the most popular one that we see him use is Crimson Moob, which is whenever he it's what he used to kill that demon in the Asakusa fight. Uh, it's like incredibly loud, and just he one tapped the demon with like a 2-inch punch. Um, the other one is Fire Moon, which is he turns fire into like a blade in the palm of his hand, and kind of just swings them around. It's like a sword. It's just a fire sword, pretty much.
oh, that's cool. Like Ogun's fire spears.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Um, and then Ia Hand's seventh form is a flames on his finger. Oh wait, hold on. Maybe this was the one that he used to kill the demon. Rereading it now. Oh no, it's not. No, it's not. This is the flame ring that he does when he was fighting. He was fighting another captain, I believe, or his partner,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
and he held his fingers out like he's shooting a bow, did a big circle, kind of like Doctor Strange, and then had a huge fire ring behind him,
Yeah, I know what you're talking
and then
about.
like yeah, sent like the sun at him pretty much. Um,
Yeah.
and that's one of his abilities actually. The sun, it's called the sun. Um, is whenever he throws that ring of fire at somebody. Um,
Okay, that's cool. All right, so
um,
now I'm gonna go over Joker's abilities,
all right,
which it's never stated what generation he is,
right.
but he's displayed third generation and second generation powers. So
Yeah,
we assume that he's like Benimaru.
especially with his cards, the way he manipulates his cards.
Yes, so he can manipulate the ashes of infernals,
Mm.
but he can also ignite his cigarette without having to light a fire.
So he's like
So
Master Control.
he's displayed both generation abilities.
Right.
But yeah, he uses his cards like a deck, and
Mm.
he throws them at people at high speeds.
Right. Which you see all
And
throughout the
then
show.
he also uses the infernal ashes to ignite them and cause massive explosions.
Mm. Yeah, I've seen. I like watching Joker fight. He was really fun in the first season of the rookie games, I believe. Whenever he was first
Oh
introduced,
yes,
that was awesome. That was a really good introduction for Joker. He's one of my probably top five of the whole show. Um,
yeah, I think he's really interesting.
all right. Is that all you got for him?
Yeah. So like I said, I mentioned Ogun a little minute ago.
Mhm.
So he is my second pick.
Mhm.
Because I think his ability is really cool.
Mhm.
He's a third generation,
Mhm.
and he was a part of Fire Force Company number 4.
Yep. Yeah, he was. Still is,
And
I think.
is he?
Yeah,
I
I
thought
think he
he.
is. I don't think anything's happened yet. I don't believe he's rebelled or anything.
Yeah. Okay. So he is the star rookie of Company 4. Like he's the strongest rookie that they have,
Right.
and he can create sword and spear-like constructs out of his fire,
Mhm.
and he can launch them at his opponents at high speeds.
Kind of sounds like Benny Maru.
A little bit, a little bit. But his ignition ability, which is called Flamey Ink, kind of gives him tattoos on his body,
Yeah.
and it gives him strength similar to the captain of the first, Captain Burns.
Mm.
So
Oh yeah,
it
actually I remember
increases,
that now. I remember that now. Yeah.
yeah, it increases his speed and his strength and the potency of his fire.
That's cool. Yeah. I forgot to mention my ignition ability for Benny Maru, but it was the sun for him. But my next character I chose is Burns. Leonard
Oh,
Burns. So on the topic of Burns, with Ogun, um, he's a veteran who's made a name for himself for his abilities. He's known as a fire incarnate. Uh, his pyrokinetic ignition ability is called Voltage Nova, and it's got 5 stages. And the way it works is whenever he's fighting, pretty much the more damage he takes, he absorbs that damage and then reuses the heat gained from like a firefight and essentially uses his body as like an internal furnace and reheats his body temperature higher and higher every stage to the point where he has such a high flame resistance, flames can't hurt him in any way while fighting, and it makes
okay.
his physical prowess much faster and stronger. Um, so movement speed, attack damage, like his defensive abilities, all of that gets boosted. He pretty much once it hits stage 5, is pretty much he's unstoppable. Because even at stage 2, he's almost impossible to hit. So,
Yeah.
he's also just a big strong dude. So alone, without his firepower, he'd be kind of like Captain Obi. He's just got the ability to hit heavy concussive blows. Um,
Yeah, I mean he's like 6'8" or something.
yeah, he's terrifying. His build's crazy. Um, I believe. Oh yeah, he's also been seen to kill a infernal in just one hit. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
yeah.
Um,
That's all I've got for
so
him.
my third pick is Arthur.
Arthur.
Yeah,
Interesting.
he is
Delusional is what he
obviously
is.
he is. We'll get to that in a minute. But he's obviously a part of Company 8, and he also kind of serves as the guardian of the fourth pillar, even though he's not really as strong as Shinra.
Yeah, they also kind of hate each other.
Yeah. So kind of what happens is he uses his fire and he compresses it into the shape of a blade, which he uses as the blade for his Excalibur. And the interesting thing is, he thinks that he is King Arthur,
Yeah.
like of the Round Table.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
the more kind of like he can convince himself of that, the stronger he gets.
yeah, from what my understanding is the reason he's like that is he was abandoned as a child. I think it
Mhm.
was due to financial needs from his parents, and his parents would always play like that night game with them, and he'd imagine that's why his imagination stuck because they left a note on a I think it was the fridge, and it was like keep the castle protected or whatever, and
Mhm.
that's kind of what sparked him to never lose that imagination.
Yeah, so if you give him like a cape and a horse, then he's stronger than most other third generations.
Yeah, which we you have you watched season 2 yet? I believe. Have
I
you?
have, I
Okay,
have.
yeah. So we saw that whenever they met. What was his name? The red-haired dude. I forgot his name.
Vulcan.
Vulcan. Yeah, when they were fighting Vulcan, he gave him a horse, and he defeated that entire army of Whiteclads pretty much on his own.
Well, it was only two white clads, remember? Because one
Oh
was
yeah,
the
because he
dude
had
that can
the
make
the
like
clone.
shimmers or something, I think he
Yeah,
calls them.
but didn't they still had the impact force of an individual person though. So
Right.
it's just they were a little bit weaker.
Well, all you had to do was like tap them and they disappeared.
Right, but if you still got hit by him.
And Arrow, I think, was there too, right?
Yeah, an archer. I don't know if it was Arrow specifically, but there was an archer there.
I think it
Oh,
was Arrow.
it probably was Arrow, because they were there to take Sheena. I think they did get Sheena actually. Did they? I don't
No.
remember. It's been a while since I watched season 2. All right. My third pick is Haumea, who was
Oh,
yeah, she's kind of just as crazy as Arthur, except she knows what she's doing. um,
yeah.
I don't know how to feel about the crown design. It always kind of makes me mad that she doesn't have a face, but it kind of adds on to her like insanity that she has.
Yeah, I
She's
think so.
known as the third generation. She's a third gen pyrokinetic, who actually possesses an Adola burst and is the second pillar. She's respectfully referred to as the voice of the evangelist and the leader of the
Mhm.
Whiteclads. Um, she dealt with a lot without throughout her teenage years, which is not really touched on in the anime. But basically her entire goal, obviously with the rest of the Whiteclads, are to end the Earth with a second cataclysm. Um, she's really strong, but then again, with like all of Company 8 and a few other companies, she's kind of helpless if you get in her head. We've figured out.
Yep.
Um, and talking about getting in her head, one of her abilities is Motorhead, which is her lightning manipulation ability. She can manipulate people's minds and nerves and control them because your brain has electric signals and you could manipulate that if you had that ability. She can
Yep.
even stimulate dopamine and endorphin in the targeted individual, which
Really.
results in heightened aggression and lower inhibitions. I don't know what that is.
Inhibitions. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't remember that. Hmm.
yeah. I think that was in. It might be somewhere in season 3. I haven't watched yet fully, but it also could have been somewhere in between season 2. I don't. Yeah, I gotta rewatch the show. I think.
Yeah.
However, she's unable to explicitly control how they react to it. So, like, if she were to control someone like Shinra, for example, or try to, and his rock hard mindset of maintaining a hero probably
Hmm.
wouldn't affect him. It'd just make him more angry.
It
Um,
also doesn't affect Arthur because he's too stupid.
that yeah, we did that.
That
That
is
did happen.
canon.
That did
He
happen.
cannot be affected by it because he's too stupid.
Yeah, he doesn't. That's why I said she's kind of like Arthur, except she knows what she's doing. Her other ability, other three abilities actually, are the first one's Radiohead, which same with the electrical signals, but she can send thoughts and transmissions to her team from great distances. Um, Talking head is the ability to interrupt electrical signals in the brain to read thoughts and feelings.
Hmm.
And the light of despair, which is when she's fused with the pillars of the evangelist, she can shoot a giant beam of light.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, which I
So just she just has like the Iron Man repulsor ray,
pretty much, yeah. The oh, what is it called? Not the repulsor. It's like a,
the unibeam,
is it a unibeam? I guess it is a
the
unibeam. Yeah,
unibeam.
yeah, yeah.
It's called the unibeam.
Um, but yeah, that's my entire list. Who
Yeah,
you
that's it for me too. That's all three.
are you done with yours?
Yeah, that was all three.
Okay then. Well then, I guess that wraps it up for this episode.
That was a quick
And
one.
yeah, that was. I mean, not really much to go over there. They have a bunch of abilities though. I think
Yeah.
Benny Mother will forever stay at the top though. I don't think anyone's gonna beat Benny Mother anytime soon.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is going to be it for this week, and we will see you guys next week in episode 4.